this is Riding with Ree. Welcome back to my car. Welcome if you are new here. Today, Jill and I and Barry, who you might remember from a couple of videos now, he's sort of a Strawberry Roan and Chestnut Horse. We are going in the box, we're going hacking to Lullingstone Park. I think that's how you pronounce it. It is a country, kind of like a country estate. It's family owned here in the UK. I did a bit of research on it. Firstly, it looks really beautiful and I'm very excited to go. It seems like quite a popular horse riding spot, but it's also been family owned for hundreds of years, and you know, Henry VIII has been there. I think Anne Boleyn has been there, which is exciting. So we're gonna go for that. I don't know how wide the screen is. This GoPro has always got a very wide screen, so you can probably see the back of my car. The weather here at the moment has been so insane, up and down, and I don't have enough space to store my heavy rugs at the yard, so I've got my middleweight rugs there. But because of how insane the weather's been, I've just been like keeping them in my car just in case I need them. At the moment it's quite warm, but I don't understand what's happening. So thank you so much for all of your feedback on the autumn vlog, all the messages and the comments and stuff. You all seem to really enjoy that, the kind of chit chat, which I enjoyed as well. So I think I'm going to try and do a bit more of that. I have forgotten my little like handheld tripod for this today, but I think we'll be fine. The other thing I hope today captures is the autumn colours. I'm looking out at the moment over the back of the fields. The colours at the moment are so stunning. But yes, just waiting for the yard to open and then we shall go and see Woody. Good morning to my sunshine. I've actually already given him a cuddle, but I thought you'd want to say hello as well. Yes, yes, a good boy. Are they going out to the field? Look at him. Ugh. Ugh, Woody. Never mind, eh? You have a munch and we shall give you a brush. Oh my goodness, this is hilarious. I was just about to put my GoPro on the side. Look at Woody. Do you know why he's acting like that? Because Hannah has put her dog in one of the stables while she puts some horses out in the field, and the dog is like scratching at the door. I wonder if I can show you. Are you okay, Minnie Mouse? And the horses are like, what is that? Bless. Very cute. Right, brushes, Woody. So whilst we're getting ready, I wonder if I can do some catch-ups with you, like I did last time. Just gonna go and boil the kettle because he's got a few stable stains. I need a bucket. He's got a few stable stains, and I want him to look smart, and I can get them off with hot water. Even though it's not a show, I don't really want to be walking around in the public with stable stains everywhere. I cleaned him up yesterday for the vet. So we've been working with them a little bit on and off, just on something we thought was making Woody a little bit uncomfortable. And last time they came, they did his back, which I told you about. And he's been feeling really, really good to me anyway. And the vet came down yesterday, sorry it's a bit dark. And he was really, really happy with how he was looking. Is that full? No. With how he was looking. So now we're going to try and keep his back loose and keep his back strong with lots of gymnastic work. That's the plan. So we'll do that with the dressage saddle, essentially like tiny jumps and pole work and things like that. And once we get the new jump saddle, GP saddle, we can do jumping in February onwards, hopefully. But this yard, my coach also does a monthly pole work clinic, which is great because that's quite fun. It's with other people and you're not riding by yourself. So we're going to try and do that as well and just strengthen him up over winter. I'll keep you posted on how we get on, and I think I might film the pole work clinic because that seems to be quite popular with you. Oh, let's turn the light on. And I was surprised actually how popular it was for you to see the GoPro perspective when it comes to pole work. I always thought videos from the ground would be like more popular, but I guess the GoPro gives you a chance to actually see where you're going and what the direction of travel is and stuff, so I'll try and do more of that. And I tend to ride with riders that I know, they know me quite well, so I can usually ask if they mind if I film, and they're usually okay, so I'll check. But the next one is next Saturday, so it might even be the video that comes out after this one. So yeah, we'll just boil the kettle like I said, spruce them up. My tack is done, I did it yesterday. And then we're going at 8:30, I think. Where's my phone? It's 7:45, we've got loads of time. So just let him have some hay and some breakfast for a bit. Right, Woody Wood. This is the before. And I will show you the after. Here is the after. Obviously it's not perfect, but it's still drying and it will just be a bit tidier. Good boy. All ready to go? Yes. Let's load up. Right, the boys are in. Again, you probably can't see. I should have filmed it this time because actually we did our little system, the walk, the trot, and he was straight on. I think once he knows a trailer, he's great. So the colours are looking incredible as we're driving, so I'm very excited. I've got a couple of friends I was talking to this morning who've walked here before, and Jill's been before, so I'm very, very excited. And the weather, fingers crossed, is going to stay bright. We'll see you there. Those colours. So we've just arrived. If you ever come here, it's really good. So this section is actually dedicated to horse boxes, which is great. And then you've got the rest of the car park over here, and then over there, there's a cafe. It's paid and displayed. I think it's about £5 for, well, I don't know if it's the same for cars, but it helps to run the maintenance of the park. So yeah, the boys are still in here, and we shall load up shortly. Well, not load up shortly, get on shortly. Are you ready, Barry? Oh yes, please. Ooh, new job, cameraman. Hello, Poppy. Thanks very much.
All right.
Yourself, you silly beast. So before I left the yard, my foam microphone cover for my GoPro fell off, and I didn't realise until we got to the venue. And it turns out that this apparently turns the sound off my GoPro video, so this doesn't have any sound, but I will talk you through it. So just before I turned my GoPro on, Woody was like uncharacteristically fidgety and raring to go, and you can see his ears here. Like, he's always happy to be out, but he really wouldn't stand still, and that was quite unlike him. And the whole way around, I have to say, he just felt really, really nice. He really wanted to move forward. We had a canter, and at one point I was like, gosh, he's getting quite strong, which is unusual for him, you know, it's really nice. And that has definitely happened since we did the work over his back. I think it's had a really big impact on him, actually. He feels a lot freer. He feels very powerful in the school as well, which took me by surprise the other night. I was riding around and it was getting dark. And I think it was a combination of it getting dark, they were feeding the other horses, there were jumps in the school, he was looking at those. But his canter on this one rein just was like, woof. It felt so powerful. And I was like, oh my gosh. So, you know, it's really, really nice that he's feeling so good. Okay, let's skip forward and show you some of this beautiful scenery because it was truly a lovely ride. So that first section that I just showed you, there were actually two separate paths for horse riders and for dog walkers. And that really set the tone for the entire park, actually. There were lots of signs around asking dog walkers to keep their dogs on leads around the horses and letting people know that horses would be riding. And everybody that we met was really lovely and kind and kept their dogs on leads, and just really, really nice atmosphere. And you could tell that this is somewhere that people rode horses on a lot. So, for example, this woodland that we're riding through now, it was super quiet. I don't think we met a single person. This was our first little trot. And just look at it, it's so beautiful. And it had rained the day before we came down, so the ground was really soft and perfect. So we followed this woodland path down for a little while, and then we came out onto this golf course, which was really beautiful. I think one of my favourite views from the day. Also, the golfers were lovely. Like, they would wait until we'd walk past to hit their balls, which I thought was really, really nice of them. So we walked down this path together, and we came up around this corner, and then we had our first long canter, and Jill and I had discussed it along here. She's a very good person to ride with. She was like, you know, the canter starts here and it's quite a long one, but if you ever feel uncomfortable, you can just stop, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to show you a bit of that now. I do have to warn you that partway up the hill, my GoPro kind of flipped forward, which has never happened before. I think I just didn't have the bolt put in properly before I left. So that's unfortunate, but I do realise further on and pick it back up. Just not until after the canter's finished. Anyway, here we go. So we start trotting and Woody's got his ears partly back because I'm asking him to wait instead of going ahead Barry. Barry's up there in front, and we start off on this path and it goes all the way up the hill and the boys are really loving it. And I'm just being careful here not to get too in front of Barry because I don't want him to get upset. And here I'm just helping Jill count because, as you can see, Barry sort of bounces around. Oh, and there goes my hat. I'm sorry. I'm going to move it on to the next bit. So by the time I realised we are obviously over with the canter and we're back on one of these woodland paths, and actually we'd had a couple of canters that I missed, which I was really annoyed about as I was riding along. But never mind, that is not what these days outs are about. They're about memories, although I would love to share them with you. So as we're riding along, we come across this little pile of logs. Barry doesn't jump because he's slightly older and has an old injury, but I was like, oh, I really want to do it. So Jill is very good. She sort of goes in front, has a little check of the jump as she goes past for me, and then once she's in front, I go and pop it with Woody. Look at him. He's like raring to go. He knows something's happening because I'm shortening up my reins. He's like, why are they leaving? Why are they leaving? And I do push him on a little bit over the jump, and I think he really enjoys it. I know he's missing the jumping, and it's quite fun when it's these little bits. Whee! I honestly, yeah, Barry gets a little bit upset because he thinks we're going. I honestly can't wait to take this boy cross-country training. I think he's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited. And now that we've been riding together for quite a few months, over half a year now, it's over 6 months. I think we know each other much better and I know him much better, and I just think it'll make for a great experience next spring. So we make our way back round the golf course through some more woods, and we have one last little trot before we head down back towards the car park. Barry's staying in trot because Jill wants to teach him that he's not always cantering, but you know, Woody's very good, so I had a little canter next to them. I tried to keep everything very chilled so that Barry didn't get upset. Look at his little rocking horse canter. I was like, as long as you stay next to him, you're allowed to canter, Woody, and he very much obliged. So this was our last little canter before we headed back down into the car park, which I'll show you in just a moment. So here we are heading back into the car park. Very good boys. And then it was time to get off, where Woody quite literally seeks greener pastures, and I have a lesson in getting too complacent. Let's go. So I actually propped my phone up on those wooden pallets there, which is where I thought I caught Woody running off. But what a treat for you all, because I actually got it on my head cam. Normally, by this point in my ride, my GoPro battery has run out, so I had no idea that this was caught on camera. So let's run through it from my perspective, shall we? Right, so I've got my head collar over my arm and I'm untacking Woody's bridle. Obviously he's really itchy, so he's trying to rub his head on me. And because Woody's normally such a good boy, I normally just take his bridle off and then put the head collar on. I leave his neck strap on, but I don't leave the reins on or put the head collar around his neck or anything like that. More fool me, because in about 5 seconds you're going to see, I don't know what it is that sets him off. I don't know if he just jumps and then he runs, and as I go to grab him, he just sort of jumps away from me, which has never happened before. And then look! He trots off, and I was like, okay. And he's trotting down towards an open gateway, which is slightly terrifying. So I throw the bridle down and try not to panic. And then he starts walking back towards us, and I'm like, well, thank goodness. And he's always been very, very good to catch. So I try to just be very chill, walk up to him and be like, hi. And I'm getting ready to grab his stirrup leather if I have to. But I've got his neck strap, which is, thank goodness, that's on. That's one of the reasons I do leave it on. Get his head collar back on. Mark comes over to give him a carrot. and all's well that ends well. But yes, very embarrassing from me. That'll teach me to get complacent with my horse and not, you know, tack up and untack the way that you should, really. Let me quickly show you that from my other perspective on my phone. Hey. And that is why we leave the neck strap on when we take the bridle off. Technically speaking, Rhiannon, that's also why we put the head collar around the neck, but you know, it's fine. You alright? So here we're just washing the boys off. Woody's obviously unclipped at the moment, so he got quite sweaty. We just have water buckets, and there's this lavender stuff that Jill puts in her water, which is really nice actually. It's supposed to be really good for their muscles. So finish this off, scrape them off, and then grab a quick hot chocolate before we go home. You up a bit. There you go. Oh. You don't want water.
Good boy, Woody. He's a good boy.
Oh, good boy. Little hot chocolate to end the morning. We're back. Woody is in his freshly cleaned and freshly repaired Premier Equine Wag Steady. Very keen to say. And he's going straight out in the field. So to sum up today, Lullingstone Park, excellent place for riding, would definitely go back. Super organised, so many nice people, nice golfers, nice dog walkers, lots of varied terrain on the tracks, and really beautiful this time of year. Plus it had the great parking for the boxes and the cafe. Very good. Good boy, Woody. Off you go. Well, thank you for watching Riding with Rhi. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. We'll see you next week, 4 PM GMT on Friday. Bye for now. Freshly cleaned rug, I said, and he just keeps on rolling. At least we know his back's feeling good because he's going over and over and over and over. I'll leave this with you and I will see you next week, guys.